What's up, everyone? It's Friday night. You know what that means? The Skeptical Help Bar is open. It's happy hour. Drinks are free as long as you pour them yourself. It's all good. I got some rum. I'm happy to go. I was pre-gaming.
Wow.
You can already tell.
Holy
I was pre-gaming
Lord.
with my guests.
I'm so sorry, guys, already.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll be taking over the show.
It's going to be a wild show, I think. This is going to be different from a lot of other shows because I think there's a lot more alcohol involved tonight. And plus, really, really late for my guests. Both guests that are going to be on, it's 2 a.m. where they are right now. So they're a little punch drunk kind of thing, little whee. So we should have fun. All right. So let me get to the rules here so we can get our guest on. All right. So as always, rule number 1 is you are welcome to ask any kind of paranormal related questions that you want, your little heart desires, whatever you want. And in return, I give you my skeptical opinion. Sometimes backed by science. Sometimes it's just my opinion and you have to deal with it. But other times it's my guests who will give their opinions and they may not agree with me, which is cool. That actually leads into other rules that we have. But rule number 2 is I don't know everything and neither do my guests, but
neither do I.
And neither does Divine Donna over on the side there, the voice of Donna. So if we don't know what it is, we can look it up. We can chat about it. We can maybe write it down in my little notebook, which I don't even. Oh, it's in front of me. There it is. That's why I didn't see it. Anyway, so I'll write it down and I will get back to you later. Rule number 3. This is probably the most important rule of the night. Listen to Patrick Swayze and be nice. That's it. This is a show for open discussion, debate. You're welcome to put whatever you want in the chat room and discuss things as long as you don't take it across the line. If you don't call people names, don't be a dick. That's pretty much what it comes down to. If you're a dick, then Divine Donna will boot your ass. She has the power. And so there, take that.
Yeah,
rule number 4 helps us out. If you have a question, please do us a favor and put a Q in front of it. And that way it helps Donna filter through the comments and find the questions for myself and the guests. And then 5, which is my favorite rule, because then I get to switch to my my regular background, is drink up. So everyone drink up. It's nice to see everybody. What do we got here? I'm going to run through it real quick. We got Tiffany, John, Diane, Barry, Stacy, JD's here. Yeah. Nice. John, and I'm probably Vickers. Melissa, Tim Vickers, Bev, Tommy, Ted Vance, Teddy's here. Bev, Tommy. Wow, there's a lot of people here. I think there's a few people from across the pond. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to switch my banner here to the wide view because we have 2 guests, and I'm going to bring them on. I'm going to unmute their mics, which is probably a mistake. But here we go. We got Kelly and Jenny. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Good.
All right. So at the beginning of the interviews like this, or just shows like this, when we have a guest, I don't read the bios. Especially because what you sent me, I couldn't read.
Not readable.
That would get me in trouble. But please do us a favor. I'm going to start with Kelly. Tell us a little bit about yourself so people who know who you are.
Oh, okay. So I'm Kelly from the UK, obviously. Been in the paranormal field for about 17 years. Have a small team. Basically hobbyist team, nothing too serious. And I run the show Deadends, so the podcast show Deadends. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And it's a good show. I listen as often as I can, usually from work, and I pop in now and then and give my opinion and then pop out.
Yes, you do.
Jenny, what about you? Who are you?
I am Jenny Sullivan from Ireland, and I am founder of Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers, and I am in the paranormal field for about 15 years. I also run a podcast called Shadow Whispers in the Night, along co-host with Gary Riddle Waters in Ireland. Yep, so we're doing it. He's doing it longer than me, but doing it 15 years.
Okay. Wow, that's a long time.
I love the background.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
It almost reminds me like a church.
I bought this off Facebook. I saw it on Facebook and I just said, oh my God, I need this. And I bought it. It's like a room divider. And it's like,
Oh, it's beautiful.
And the rest of it like pulls right out. But I only have so much room. And it depends on where I put it in my house. In my bedroom, actually, because this is where I am now. But I love it. I just love it.
It is absolutely beautiful. It doesn't from this camera angle. Yeah, it looks like the wall behind you. It doesn't even look like a room divider.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I love it. And I got it for a steal. And I just said I saw it. I seen it. I wanted it.
Got it. I need it.
I have that problem too. I really do have that problem. I see things and I buy it, and that's why my office looks like this.
Yeah.
There's shit everywhere.
That's one thing that. That's one thing me and Kenny have in common.
Yeah, we collect everything.
We're both shoppers.
And it's made of Indian wood. And and so many people has been wanting to buy it off me, and I'm like, no, why would I buy it and give it to someone else?
Right.
I love it. So yeah, it's definitely. I did have it in one particular part of my room when I was doing my lives, and every time I'm doing my lives, my daughter would come behind one of the circle here behind here, so you can and my daughter would say, "Mom," and I'm like,
I'd be sticking my finger through the holes and going like,
People be like right in front of it, and I'd be like, Jessica, fuck you, and I'd be like, yes, that's what I did. That's what I said. Yeah. So.
All right. So tonight is an open mic night. We don't have a particular topic. These ladies were nice enough to join me tonight. Just jump into the show because I really didn't have anything planned. And I actually, Kelly, I saw one of your posts about something and I was like, you know what? She's been bugging the shit out of me to come on the show. So I wonder if she's available. So we kind of just threw this together. So if you guys have questions in the chat room, please feel free. We have two people here that run ghost hunting teams, paranormal I don't know what you want to be called, ghost hunters or paranormal investigators, because that sounds more professional. But you both run teams. You both are part of teams. You both have podcasts that deal with this kind of stuff. So any kind of questions that the chat room wants to ask, feel free. But I have some topics I'm going to throw out there for us to talk about. And
if you hear something in the background, it's my dog snoring on my bed.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. That's all right. I'm sure by the time this show is over, one of us will be snoring.
What are you saying?
I think Kelly's going to be snoring. She's like,
hey, seriously, I'll be like,
we need some questions for Kelly.
Yeah, keep her awake. So, Jenny, you said as soon as I put it out there, in our chat that I need topics or what kind of topics you want. You were first and quick to jump on it and say that you love EVPs.
Yes, I do.
I have my opinions about EVPs, and I think we should talk about them. Shut up.
I'm good for it. I'm good for it. Yeah.
So, tell me, I guess, what's your process? Explain what EVP is, just in case somebody in the chat room has no idea, which I can't imagine they don't. But what is an EVP, and what's your process of collecting them and maybe validating?
Okay. So an EVP is electronic voice phenomenon that we would use a digital recorder. Let me just stop my dog from snoring. Hobie, wake up. Sorry.
Wake up.
She's like, Hobie.
We can't hear them. It's okay.
Oh, sorry. That's okay. So EVP is electronic voice phenomenon, which would be what we would use for digital recorders.
Okay.
I was on a team for about 4, 5, 6 years maybe, and I never got a chance to do that work. I would hand my recorder over to someone else who would do it and go by what they get, and that was it. Then when the team folded and I created my own team, I said, I have no idea how to do this. I need to learn how to do it. So I got to baby steps and learn how to do it and how to download it and so on and so on. So, my gosh, it was a difficult step, but someone taught me how to do it, or taught me how to download it onto my computer. And I had my headphones on and had to click, download, highlight, bring it up and yada, yada, yada. Then I just got, oh my God, I love EVPs. EVPs is, I know of, and I repetitively do locations. I don't go from one location to one, another and another, and just leave it like that. I would be the researcher that I would go literally to 4 or 5 locations repetitively and build up a rapport with the building. So I, oh my gosh, there's so many buildings that I do repetitively. So EVPs, I would sit and listen to what we have done a month prior to 6 months later to say 4 months later, and always say, and every time I walk into one particular building or any building I walk into that I have done repetitively, will always say, hi, Jenny. And you just build that rapport with them. I have had so many EVPs that I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I believe it, but I don't believe it.
Okay.
I am skeptic, but I'm a believer at the same time. And how that can work together, I have no idea. 15 years later, and I'm still working on it.
Okay.
I believe what I hear, but I'm like, I don't know. Like,
so why do you believe what you hear? Are you believing it because you have this belief already? This belief is already a core belief of yours, or is it maybe something that you want to be true?
I believe it because I go into a building and I make sure everyone is like holding their breath when we're doing audio session workouts and so on.
So that's part of the process. But yeah. I mean, like, why do you believe this to be true? Why do you believe an EVP or an alleged EVP? I'm gonna say alleged a lot, and so that's just the way I am. But why do you believe that an alleged voice on a recorder is a ghost and not maybe something else? And I guess what I'm saying is, like, is that because you really want it to be a ghost, or do you already have that belief that the place is haunted?
I don't believe when we go into a place what I know of the history. I'm told a snippet of it, but I don't know what's going to come to me. So when I ask a question and I get an intelligent answer, or I get a residual footsteps, that's, to the building, that I will not know until I repeatedly have done that location. When I get an answer to a question, I'm kind of, and if I know the building, only if I have done the building 4, 5, 6, 7 times for the last 5 years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then I'm saying, okay, I know it's not the guys, it's not the girls. Where I'm in a room by myself, I'm asking a question, I'm getting an answer. Most of them would be, most places I go to, it depends on what location you go to. It could be negative, and I've gotten mainly negative. Don't know why, but I get negative. But some places I go to that they do know me, and they will always say my name. And there's no one in that building to say, or the people that I work with will say my name or say something. We have done so many different experiments and so on.
Okay.
I would believe.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was saying I believe in EVPs because of the amount of work that I put into it. As a researcher, that I will debunk everything to the last fine tooth comb, and I will be honest with that. If I have something that I'm very honest with it, my work, that if I find something that's like, guys, like, geez Louise, I don't know what they're saying, but I know some things what they're saying, I'd say, have a listen to this for me. I don't know how it works.
Okay.
But I know what I get is not my team members or in the vicinity of my groups or the teams that I'm working with in their separate areas of the building.
Okay.
I just phenomenal.
Kelly, what do you think?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I like EVPs as well. Out of all the pieces of equipment out there, which we can talk about later because some of them are bullshit. But
This is going to be our whole show.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. So pretty much, I do enjoy doing EVP, but I'm really strict with it. So for me, a good EVP session would have to be me solo, because then I'm taking away all of that coughing and silent bloody whispering that people like to do. As soon as they know you press that button, they're like, "Did you see that?" Or they move, or they walk, and stuff like that. So I much prefer it if I'm solo. Short bursts as well. I just don't think there's much point in leaving an EVP recorder running all night, because that's just no point. Because you literally cannot go over it and say, well, that's the spirit and that's the spirit, because you're not around to be able to debunk it, unfortunately. But yeah, for me, I just run solo EVP sessions. I've had a few good what I would class as Class A EVPs. I never heard anything at the particular time. I don't use any other devices, so for me, I don't think SB7 or anything like that can interfere with my EVP sessions. However, I have done some research on digital voice recorders, and I have looked at maybe going into like the old-fashioned one, the dictaphone with the tape recorder and stuff like that. But with COVID, I just haven't managed to get out enough. So. Right. And that's starting up again now, so maybe I'll go down that route. But yeah, no, I like EVPs. I just think it needs to be in a controlled environment.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a good point. I like that, and I'm glad you brought it up about a controlled environment. Because for the most part, when I see people doing EVP sessions, it is not anywhere near a controlled environment. And I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I want to put a disclaimer, but it is not a controlled environment. Because most of the time they either hold the recorder or they put it down on a surface that can cause vibrations or transfer vibrations from any kind of movement or stuff like that. I always recommend that if people are going to do recordings, and I really don't like using EVP because for myself, I don't think it's legit as evidence. And we can get into that a little bit more. But I do recommend that if people are going to use recorders, that they use a shock mount, that they put the recorder in the shock mount to help. And for those that don't know, shock mount is that springy thing that you put microphones into that help absorb the shock or vibrations. It really does help cut down, because I've seen too many people hold the recorder in their hand. And just the vibration alone can cause these weird noises that, if you're looking for ghostly voices, you're going to find them. So I take issue with that, with controlled environments, and like I understand the not having people around, and that's a big deal. Like not having anyone else around because you don't want other people's voices. Kelly, like you mentioned, people whispering. Holy shit, I hear that all the fucking time.
Blows my mind.
The first rule. You see people like, oh, you know what? No whispering. Everyone be quiet. Just one person talk. And then within 10 seconds, someone's like...
I find sometimes when I do an EVP session that they know my team is, they know, and some of my team is new members, but they know not to whisper. Don't walk. Don't talk. If you want to whisper or say something, say it out loud. Yeah. I am going to... debate on this with the guys and say I've had some amazing EVPs that even I can't even fathom. And I know everyone each to their own, but I can't even fathom. And I'm very, like I said before, I'm a healthy skeptic, if that makes sense. I believe, and I need to debunk it sometimes, But when it comes to EVPs, I would be that person to say that I have done a lot of work in EVPs, and many times I've got some things that I cannot make out. I can make out what they're saying, but I cannot make out in my brain, like, how, and geez, like, this is great.
Well, this is a good question. Well, before we get to this question, when you say like you have a Class A EVP or you have really good EVPs, and again, we're just discussing here, but
yes, of course,
wouldn't that be subjective? wouldn't that be a subjective interpretation? Because I guess from my experience, and I really do hate using anecdotal experience, but from my observations, people give their own interpretation.
Yeah.
And it's not a standard. There is no standard.
Yes.
It's okay. I think it's Class A EVP, and people play it for me, and I'm like, I don't hear shit. Like, what do you hear?
Yeah, I get you for that. I totally get you for that. There are some EVPs that I have brought up that it was very straightforward of EVPs. I mean, there's some EVPs that people, not even I sometimes can make it out what's being said.
Okay.
But there's some that is intelligent EVPs.
So when you say intelligent, you know what? Let me. I want to get to the question from.
Okay. Yeah.
And then from John. I'm sorry. Intelligent. What was the? There it is. It's so nice having a producer. Woo, I love it. So John wants to know, how exactly would a spirit go about interacting with an EVP? How do you make sound to be recorded without a voice box? So what are your opinions? I mean, I can give my opinion.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll go first.
Okay. You go first. Okay. I'm reading the question again.
Okay. So I would say, yeah, it's kind of hard to do without a voice box or without a mechanism to cause sound. And sound, as we know, is vibration. It's a vibration through a medium, and it has to go through air or some kind of other medium in order to be transmitted to our eardrums in order to be interpreted. Yeah. So you have to have that initial mechanism in order to produce sound. If a ghost is ethereal.
Big word. I'm too drunk for those.
I know. That's because I'm not drunk enough yet. I'm still a bit sober. Ethereal. If it has no substance, if it has no physical form, how is it creating the sound?
Well, I guess we'll never know, though, will we? Really, because again, paranormal field is an undiscovered field, isn't it? Nothing's proven. So a lot of answers to this particular question would literally come down to your personal belief, wouldn't they? So, I think
that's an honest answer. That's a good honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I like that. See, that's so nice. I'm glad you didn't try to bullshit me.
No, give her time, Kenny. Give her time.
Give her time. Keep drinking, Kelly.
Hey, spirits in the house. How do you talk without a voice box?
We just do.
I think sometimes, even when I was doing my EVPs, and when we were going to talk about, Kenny, about the intelligent EVPs, the intelligent EVPs would be a direct response and answer to your question. So we would have a DVP, which is a disembodied voice phenomenon.
I've never heard that term before.
DVP. Wow. It's a disembodied voice phenomenon, which is something like voice phenomenon.
I'm bringing that down.
DP, disembodied.
That's we got to start that over here.
Yeah, it's like something. If somebody says,
like evil.
Sorry,
like evil.
No,
no. So like when you actually hear
yourself,
the words yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're on investigation and you hear someone go, "Hey, you," and you hear it, like
so it's a voice without a body.
Yeah. So somebody will call your name and say, "Jenny."
Okay. Okay.
Kelly, did you call me? And she goes, "No."
What?
It's like someone's calling you. And the thing is, sometimes you can get that on DVP or EVP, and sometimes you can get it together, DVP and EVP together.
Oh.
As in, like, you can hear it yourself, but if you catch it on EVP, that's.
So all right. So the distinction is with a piece of equipment or not with a piece of equipment.
Okay. Yeah. You can get it together. Yeah.
So personal experience versus personal experience being caught on recorder.
You got it at the same time. And there was one time in my living room, I say about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, that I was had my recorder out, had a few gin and tonics, and I said, right, I'm going to find out who's in my house because I know it's in my. I did. Okay, honey. Okay, I got it. What?
Oh boy.
And so I was sitting in my living room about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I had a few gin and tonics, and I was like, okay, right, I'm going to get my recorder out now. I'm going to be brave because I know there's somebody in my home. So I took my recorder out, and I was talking to my living room, basically my living room. My kids were out at home at this stage, and I'm like, okay, I know you're in my home. Who are you? And yada yada yada. And I literally have this downloaded. I have the original track downloaded on my SoundCloud, so I can send it on to you if you want. And
don't tell me what it says.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to tell you what it said. Will I tell you what I asked?
Sure, you can. Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so I'm saying are you in my? I know you're in my home. I know you're here. Yada yada yada. What are you doing here? And if you're not going to speak to me, and I know you're here, then leave. And then you will hear my recorder. You'll hear me saying, did you just say something? Did you say something? Because I got something, because I heard it. But I listened back to the recorder and I got the same thing on my recorder. So it was like kind of DVP and an EVP at the same time. So my recorder picked what he was saying at the same time. I did, and then after I just said goodnight, I go to bed.
I need to point out the obvious here is that you did say you had a few gin and tonics.
Yes, I did, but I know I'm very passionate when it comes. I know what you're going to say. Don't even go there with me. Don't go there.
Do you really? I mean,
I don't know.
No, Kenny, no. I literally have it on my SoundCloud. I have it downloaded.
So,
oh my God.
But,
I can see this happening in a minute. Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, no.
We have to separate the two because you had 2 experiences.
Yes.
Not just one. These are 2 separate experiences that need to be investigated separately. The first one was very subjective and under the influence of alcohol.
Yes. But you will hear on my recorder by me saying, and you can hear my voice cutting off by saying, did you just say something? Did you say something? And yet it came through on audio at the time that I heard a voice being said or a name being said.
These are 2 separate experiences, though. So the recording. I get it. You have the recording, and I'm not doubting that. You have the recording of something. But the first experience was not recorded. It was experienced under the influence. So it could have been you, to lack of a better word.
No, I'm going to dispute this with you. It was literally, I shit you, don't come for me. I'm fighting Irish now.
Yeah, wee Fanny. Yeah, wee Fanny.
How many did you have tonight, Jenny?
Oh my God, Scott's quest. But I had the whole thing running, and I have it literally. I could literally go to my SoundCloud right now and find it for you and send it on to you.
You send it to me. You go find it, and you send it to me, and we'll play it so everyone can hear it.
Where's my phone now? I'm gonna find it.
Go ahead. You got a couple minutes. We're gonna take some questions.
It's gonna take me about like 5-10 minutes if I find it tonight.
It's all right.
Tomorrow, but I will get it.
We're gonna take some questions.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. So JD asks, as 2 lovely ladies from across the pond, are you familiar with the Borley Rectory?
Oh yeah.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it.
I've heard of it. I have heard of it, JD. I have heard of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's the.
You know a lot of it. I'm not too sure. No, I don't know a lot about it, but I have heard of it.
Yeah,
I think
wasn't that the place which was described by
Hans Holzer,
Mr. Price or something? Harry Price.
Oh, Harry Price. Yes, Harry Price.
I think it was built sort of like near late 1800s. I want to say. I think it was.
It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. I've not been there though, but yeah, I do know about Borley Rectory.
All right. And
we have
finding more questions. Oh, what is your favorite place to investigate? Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Jenny, you ignore this question. You keep looking for your EVP.
I'm going into this. I'm going to say Millmount, my local area.
What is it called?
Drogheda Museum, Millmount.
Memos?
Drogheda Museum, Millmount.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm not
That's
going
one of my favorite locations to
No,
investigate.
he's not.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite locations. It's in my place where I grew up in, and
Cool.
it's just a crazy place to investigate. It is never let you down. Second place would be, gosh, I don't think I have a second place. I don't think I have a second place. I have many. I think Leb Castle would be another one. Leb Castle, which is good. Going back in February, need to look into it more, find out what I need from it. But that's it.
I think for me, it's going to have to be, I like Mansfield the Village in Nottingham. I really like Mansfield the Village. It's quite a big venue. I've actually personally had personal experiences in Mansfield the Village. So I've seen full-bodied apparitions. I've taken pictures where I've caught shadow people. I've had some good times there. So yeah, if anybody wants to come over, or if there's any people here from the UK, yeah, definitely check out Mansfield the Village. It's yeah, for me, it's just my go-to. I'm going back there soon. So as far as anything else, no, I really do like Mansfield the Village. I'm off to Llanrummy today in Wales, so I've not investigated there yet, so that should be interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah, not expecting much though, because I'm going with a ton of people I don't know, so that's going to be difficult because I don't.
Do you find that difficult then? I know I've been on plenty of ghost hunts or investigations where I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I just knew the organizer of it, and I was able to weasel my way into getting invited, which is a different story. But not knowing the people, not being able to have that even that trust. I mean, even though I trust people, I still acknowledge that people can make mistakes. So do you find it more difficult when you're surrounded by people that you don't know?
Yeah, I think for me, I much prefer to go off solo. So when you're going with a ton of people that you know, they don't generally tend to be as respectful of what it is you want to do. So I tend to try and work out what they all like doing. So if you've got like your mediums or those that like table tipping and all of that crap, I will literally stay away from that. I do like my solo stuff. But the trouble with that is I can't guarantee. There's no point in me even switching my EVP on because I can't guarantee they're not all going to be running around and bursting through the doors and coughing, and so it just makes it difficult. But it's still it's still worth going because you can get the layout of the venue and you can make a decision as to whether you want to hire it yourself and things like that. But yeah, I do find it difficult. Not like because it's new people I don't know, because I literally talk to anybody.
I heard that about
you. Yeah, I'll literally talk to anyone. Like I've got time for everybody. I mean, I don't go to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning because I have to keep up with people in America, and you lot have crazy times.
I know.
Honestly, Jesus, but yeah. I don't mind going on investigations with people I haven't met before. But I'm more of a solo investigator. I do prefer going off on my own and finding a little dark, skanky corner that I can just sit down in and just feel the vibrations and stuff and see how I feel and stuff. But yeah.
All right. So Melissa has a question. What's the creepiest EVP you've ever gotten? Go ahead,
Jenny.
Kelly. Oh, okay.
Which one?
Creepiest EVP.
The creepiest EVP I've ever gotten. Oh, geez. So many. Most of them have called me a bitch. Like, I don't know why. They just call me a bitch.
All the time.
I genuinely, every place I've gone to, just said, bitch.
Are you sure that's not your team?
Huh?
Donna's like, are you sure it's not your team?
I No, it better not be my team.
You can see Jenny. Jenny's like telling everyone, "All right, we're doing this. We're doing an EVP section." And someone's off in the corner going, "What a fucking bitch!"
I've got recorders placed in every room. Thing. Fucking bitch. There was one. We were doing a phone experiment, and Jesus, this is down in the south of Ireland, and it was a place called the Athenaeum Museum, and I've been doing that for about 2 or 3 years, and we did a phone experiment that I didn't come up with it, but I just thought, hey, let's do this, and one of the freaking responses was, "Hey, Jenny, go home." That's like, it's not the most scariest, creepiest one, but for them to tell me to go home and they're like, "Call me a bitch." I don't think I got one to say.
So wait, this was all one place.
Yes, one place called the Athenaeum Museum. Then it's saying, "Hey, Jenny, go home." And
you have this full phrase that says, "Hey, Jenny, go home."
Yes. Hey, Jenny.
I would love to hear that. I would love to hear that.
This came from one of the guys from that museum, so I'm going to ask him for that piece of audio. And he said, "Hey, Jenny," and this is the phone experiment that I do. Is I know we don't use phones when we do sessions, but I just thought, let's try this out for one time. Let's do the ITC and whatever. So I have my phone down in one particular room with a digital recorder on the other side of the room so they don't contaminate. And then they would ring me on, and it has to be WhatsApp. I don't know why, but it has to be WhatsApp. And I don't know why. Don't even ask me about that. I'm still working on it, but they just have to go through WhatsApp. So the person the group that we're with will call my phone, and we have it all on speaker. So we are in a different room, and we can ask questions to that room, but not being in that room.
Got it.
So the phone, you will get things from the phone, and I've learned by so many times. I'm just seeing my moon as like a crest. It looks amazing, but I know it looks fabulous. But so sometimes when we ask questions from one room to another room, we would get a little bit of a noise, residual noise or whatever. And then we would get this particular sound. And I've learned the sound that I would say to my team, and I do this, like they're talking. It sounds like R2-D2, and it's not a voice. It is a voice, but it's not coming through your phone as a voice. So then after about 20 minutes, we only give about 20 minutes, if that. We take the recorder back up into the room with us. We have a coffee. We go through the audio work from the recorder in that kitchen or the room that we have left the recorder and the phone in. And oh, Jesus Christ, really? I'm fucking
Oh my God, that is funny.
So we have done the playback. Carrie, was that you?
Yeah, we funny.
Yeah, right, funny. So we have done that playback, and that noise that we got from the phone was a voice saying something, and I have most of this on audio. And
so I got a question, and I'm sorry to interrupt. Because you mentioned about putting your digital recorder in a corner of the room, in one corner of the room to control. I honestly don't know what you're trying to control, but when you do that, is that, I'm trying to say this as polite as possible without sounding like a dick, but do you think that this is a control put on that experiment by putting the recorder in a corner of a room?
Is it controlled? No, it's not controlled.
Okay.
It's not controlled, because even if you're in the room by yourself holding the recorder, it's still not controlled. But by us leaving the room and having a phone in one corner of the room, and it could be 5-6 meters, and the recorder is in a different part of the room, then when we ask questions, we are on 2 level floors up. Say the particular location that I'm thinking of, we are 2 floors up. So we're in the coffee room asking questions through the phone down to 2 floors down, asking these questions. But there is a digital recorder in the room at the same time, but away from the phone that it does not interfere with it.
All right. So
cool.
now I'm getting it. You called that phone.
Yes.
Right.
The phone's
So you
live.
called the phone. The phone is live.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
on speakerphone. So it's broadcasting out the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess.
And there's a recorder in the room with it.
Yes.
There's a recorder in the other corner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I can. I mean, that sounds interesting. I don't.
It never work.
I mean, I would be concerned with breaking up the signal, stuff like that, like breaking it up the speaker itself and distortion, echo, issues like that. Especially if while you're broadcasting out.
But we didn't. At one point, we did broadcast. The first time we've ever broadcast was last Saturday, and it went tits up. It did not work because they knew what we were doing. They did not play ball with us. We got flatlined. It did nothing for us.
You
think when you say they, you mean the ghosts?
We have been in that location for 7 years.
Okay.
We know the location. We do location by location by location. I know a few friends of mine said to me, Jenny, you're doing the same location. It's not boring. But the difference is I researched to find out why and how and who the location that I go to. The same with Lep Castle, the same with Millmount in Drogheda.
I have no problem with doing the same location over and over again. I actually encourage that. I think that's a better idea than going to a different location every weekend.
I don't know, man. Because they tell Jenny to go home. She might be there a lot.
Well, fuck them.
Tell me to go home.
Not going home.
They tell me to go home every single time, but I keep going.
She keeps going back. Like
I would going to every location.
I can't even remember what the bloody question was. I'm lost.
All right, let's move. Let's move on.
Bit more drink. I can't remember.
You have another question?
Yeah, I have.
All right. So we have a bunch of questions. People are like loving you guys.
Yeah.
So, Pamela, how long have you been involved in investigations, and what got you started?
Kelly.
So, Kelly.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Jesus.
You're Irish now. Oh, Jesus.
All right. Okay. So, honestly, personal experiences that I had when I was younger led me down that path. But if I'm going to be absolutely honest, it wasn't until I was much older and Most Haunted was on telly, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What, you can actually do this shit? Like, you can go and investigate places. So, that's what got me into the paranormal. And 17 years in, I still love it just as much as I do the first day, except I am not that person that thinks everything is a ghost now. Or ghost.
Yes.
Well, you do have a Ouija board, so, you know.
Yeah, but, I don't use them. Like I showed you earlier.
Doesn't matter. You still got one.
Science.
It's evil.
Mate,
That's what I'm told.
I have literally got Katrina Wiseman's autograph on there, so that is what it is. Yeah. What a
babe. All right. Jenny.
Yes. What got me into the paranormal? What got me into investigations? Jesus Christ! How long do you have? Like,
not long.
Short answer. Short.
Okay, long. So we're going to be Irish. I make a long story short. It's going to be forever. Gosh, what got me into the paranormal?
We're off to a great start.
I know. See, I think when I was younger, I come from a family of 13.
That's a lot.
13.
I'm Irish. For fuck's sake, I'm Irish. I'm Irish. And I don't know why that I was just that I thought the box for no reason why. I have no idea why. Most of my family don't even know that why. It's okay, but that's a story for a different day. But I think I had an experience from my front garden. Basically, my shed, we seen white things going underneath the car. But there's one point when I came home from my friend's home, and My brother's friend was coming up to my friend's home, and it was a November night, and I seen the sky was like dark. It was just stars and dark November night.
Okay, I need a wee. I'm gonna go for a wee.
Oh, perfect.
It's take forever, mate. I'm telling you.
She's heard this before, so I'm not doing that, guys.
Okay.
So Kelly, I cannot fucking believe you. So so we seen these things in the sky, and they were like a comet shape, like around into a tail. I can hear you pee.
Oh my
Don't
goodness.
be starting on fucking aliens. That ain't got nothing to do with paranormal. What fucking got you started into the paranormal?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the question. I don't know.
Literally, that is the question. Fuck's sake, what time is it? It is nearly 3 o'clock, Jenny. Hurry up.
No, it's 23.
Fucking hell.
It's 23.
Okay, basically, what got Jenny into the paranormal?
Gin.
I like ghosts. Don't be a bet. I like ghosts. I like ghosts.
All right. Let's move on. Oh my goodness. This is great. So I guess when it comes to EVPs, we got another question. Here we go. Have you ever had your EVPs analyzed by a sound tech or someone with vast technical knowledge of this equipment, or do you just listen to them yourself and conclude it's paranormal?
Oh, okay. I like this question. No, I haven't, and I listened to it by myself. Have I had anyone else to listen to it? I have tried to find someone to listen to them professionally. I have not found that person yet, but I love that question, and yes, I would do that if it came to a point that I found someone. Yes, I would. Do I believe in what I find? I'm not that person to say everything I hear is paranormal. I will debunk a lot of stuff. But yes, I love this caller question. Yes, I would definitely get it dissected down and have someone to go with the radio and the frequency to listen to what I've heard. I will honestly give my name onto every EVP that I've found or heard, my name on it, because I do believe in what I found.
So I guess what they're getting at, what Coral's getting at, and probably what I would ask is, since you're doing it yourself,
yes,
and I get it, you're listening to yourself, or
yes.
listening to yourself, you're listening by yourself these recordings, and there's a bias, there's an inherent bias that comes with that, because you are the ghost hunter, you do have this belief that the place is haunted, you do have this belief that you've captured EVPs before. So when you're listening to these recordings, one thing I would probably pick out is that you might be anomaly hunting rather than.
No, I'm not.
Wait a minute. Let's wait a minute.
I'm anything but. I'm anything but anomaly hunting. I'm not, and I don't say hunting. I say research.
What's research?
Research is finding out what is going on in a building, who is in the building, and how can you make a report, of that EVP from that building. When people say hunting, I'm not hunting. I mean,
when I say anomaly hunting, I don't mean you're hunt. When somebody looks through a recording or listens through a recording, they are listening for certain things.
Yes.
Especially if you are asking questions during that EVP session. If you're asking a question, you're listening for a sound that matches what you expect to hear in response to that question. That is anomaly hunting.
I'm not doing that. I never do that. Even when it came to my point when I was in Lep Castle and my friend asked me to look for my friend and ask a question, I'm like, why? And so on. I was doing my friend who passed away 6 years ago, and I never asked for her in a location ever. Would I ask for my friend in a location? It just so happened that I got the same answer to the question that I asked, and that's anomaly hunting. That's kind of like, are you fucking kidding me? You're fucking giving me this answer to a question I gave you, and only I would know this. So
that would not be considered anomaly hunting. So you know what? I propose an experiment.
Okay.
I think this might be good.
That would be. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to get a bunch of your recordings that you are confident that are EVPs, and then take out your questions or anything that has to do with you speaking, and just put together a montage or a collage, if you will, of alleged responses, and see if you can pick out what they are. Have you ever had somebody else listen to them without priming them?
Yeah, I listened to that one.
Sorry?
I listened to that one that you were on about with your mate.
Yes. The rest of the EVPs that I go through, I would be very confident enough in myself to give you those EVPs by collecting them together. For sure, okay. I'd be very confident in sending you these.
That would be interesting, and it would just be between me and you. It wouldn't be something that we post online or anything.
It would just
be kind of cool.
I would be interested in the results of what would happen if I took out every context cue for those sounds and just put them together in my own order, and then played them for you and see if you could pick out exactly what they're saying. That would be interesting to me.
That's okay. I'm good with that. I'm so good
cool.
with that.
All right. I love experiments.
I am very confident in my findings that I would send them on to you, and you can break them and send them back on. Yeah.
And again, it'll be between me and you, and I wouldn't do anything. When I do experiments like that, when I collaborate with other people, I don't move forward unless you're okay with it. So it would just be between us, or you and me, and Kelly, if you want her to be in it. I don't know if you want her to be in it, though. She's weird, but
I'm Irish, for fuck's sake. I'm Irish. What the fuck?
I would just like to answer that question that was just up.
Okay.
No.
This one up now? Yeah.
Okay.
The one before.
The
one before. One. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to answer it.
This one? No.
All right, you answered the question.
We didn't get to that one.
The EVP question that Jenny's just answered. My answer is no.
No. Oh, good. I don't have to find
it. Kelly, I'm going to send you some EVPs for.
Oh wait, this one. Here it is. I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it was down lower. I went out.
I think that would be beneficial to do.
I mean, in all fairness, I do EVP all the time, and I think on my page, I've probably only ever put 5 up that I'm pretty confident of.
Okay, so Kelly, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me whatever you want, within reason. My wife is here.
Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought she said Kenny.
Kelly.
It's your accent.
What would be your definite moment to say something was paranormal to you? Because mine is EVPs. That's for me. What is your definite say, Jesus Louise, I freaking believe in this? That made you say, right, I'm going to
put literally, it's probably more so like what I've seen and stuff, I suppose. Like I wouldn't say it's my EVPs. Although, you know, if I'm going to post my EVPs up on my page, then I'm confident of it. But no, it's probably just more my personal experiences. That's what I enjoy. I really enjoy my personal experiences, and I can't prove those, and nobody else can take that away from me. I mean, we can go down the parapsychology route and say, cuckoo, fucking crazy. At the end of the day, do you know what I mean? Everyone's entitled to an opinion, and there's many parapsychologists, skeptic people out there. But at the end of the day, just personal experiences, and they're mine, and nobody can take them away from me. Don't matter how much.
Exactly. And for me, in my field, and how I do my stuff, and I don't do it for if I do a live, it's just to say what location I'm at, or if I put up my findings, that's just to say that I have gone to this location. I'm going to give you my findings. Take it, leave it. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I do that, and I don't do it for. I definitely do not do it for people to say, "Oh, you're wrong, you're right." That's okay. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's my page, and that's how I work it. That my dog is snoring, and she's literally enjoying me.
I guess.
I guess overall, if I was going down the TV route and stuff like that, I'd have to be absolutely flipping 100% that what I've got is absolutely real, and then I'd probably have the money.
You say
to send
TV?
it off.
TV route? Like
Well,
television?
I wish there was someone out there that was doing something that actually even remotely resembled a proper investigation. Because let me tell you, if that was on the telly, people would see the boredom on our faces, because I'm telling you, an 8-hour investigation, you will probably get 30 minutes. And most of that is personal experiences at best.
How do you get that by not doing that? If people say, like, come watch us live, and I did say my live last Saturday night, and I was like 2 or 3 times live, and I never normally do a live, but it was just a recreation that I wanted to do, and I would never do it, and I'm not going to do it on my next one for sure. But when we do a live, and we do a live,
$19.99 a month for 6 months, that's fucking hilarious.
I know, but when we do like totally
I was reading it too. Like,
it's fucking good, that one is.
Well, I mean, there's a big difference between doing this as a hobby, and I understand people call it a field, but I think there's more of a divide between a hobby and serious research. And serious research is that boredom. It takes 8-10 hours at a time in order to do it. Absolutely. If you do like when people do lives, and you mentioned television, I mean, honestly,
you're never going to get it. You're never going to get it.
Television is fake. Television is created in order to have entertainment. It's not to educate the people. And if you take education from the television shows that do paranormal kind of content, then you're missing out. You're really I
think if you're gonna, I think there is some kind of education there on TV shows. Education.
No, I don't
what
think so.
not to do. What not to do.
True.
But also.
Yeah.
But also, over here in the UK, most of us watch Most Haunted. Fake. God damn. Pretty much, we literally just utilise Most Haunted to see where they're going and get the layout of where they are, because it's better to do that, and then I ain't got to go on a recce.
That's the difference between TV and proper research. When you're doing research, is TV stuff, and people, you get what you see, you get what you want, and you want to see TV, and they give you what you want. Like in an hour of in a space of 45 minutes, you get everything in one night. Well, Jesus Christ, I may just hang up my fucking equipment and just I'm retiring. But when it comes to the people who genuinely do research in paranormal fields and genuinely do it, and we have the I'm not saying everything I do in the paranormal field is, oh my God, this is real. I'm very much for, so let's debunk the shit out of this. Let's say this shit is not real. But when things happen and you hear stuff, and if you see stuff, it cannot be documented. I am very much more for documenting everything. And I will never put anything up on my page unless I will put my name behind it. Anything I put on my page, my name is behind it. And if it's wrong, correct me, and I will say, okay, and I will say, it's wrong. But
that's the way it should be. If you put something up, you have to understand, and everyone has to understand, if you put something out there on social media, whether it's your page, your web page, your social media, whatever, it's out there for criticism. And this is not something new. It's out there to be criticized. And whether good, bad, whatever, I mean, you're going to have people that are just dicks, and they're going to say whatever they want to say. But you also have people that will come at you with good criticism. And if you're willing to accept that, that's great. That's awesome.
That's learning.
It's learning. If you're not willing to accept that criticism, then you're doing it service for yourself and everyone else.
Absolutely.
So, yes, if you put it out there, you have to understand that it's going to be criticized. And even if you put your name behind it, I understand doing that. Like everything I put out, my name's on it. My name is on it. It doesn't mean that it's 100% right. It means this is what I did. And I mean, I go through a habit. I go through editors. I go through fact checkers. So I have to make sure everything is on point when I publish an article. So if something is wrong, it's usually caught before it's published. But even if it's published, and then it comes back to me, and I make a mistake, I acknowledge it. And that's what we need to understand. We have to understand we can be wrong. Everyone
perfect. We're learning every day. Even people who are doing it for 14, 15, 16, 17 years, we are learning. Every freaking time we're learning.
And there's a difference between good research and good enough research.
Yeah.
And there really has to be a distinction between that.
You have to put your name behind it. And I put my name behind all of my EVPs, and some EVPs I have fucked up. I got it wrong. And that's okay, because I don't know everything. I can't hear everything. And if somebody says to me, Jen, that's like X, Y, Z, I'm like, okay, I will take it down. I'm not, we learn. And I say, I want more ears to say, and if it doesn't sound like the same thing that we're saying, but if it doesn't match to the same sentence we're saying, but it sounds the same, I say, okay, that's great, that's good. I want more ears, that's great. But do I, debunk things? Absolutely, I debunk things for sure. That's I'm very anal when it comes to that stuff. I will debunk everything. When it comes to EVP,
let's take our break.
Let's
take our commercial break, and then we will come back. We'll take some more questions.
We have more.
So we have a bunch more questions. You're going to have 2 minutes and 22 seconds to pee and refill your glass.
Yes.
So make sure you do it. All right. So our commercial break is coming on right. Ready? Everyone get ready. Because I fucking run. I run to get this done. You ready?
Ready?
And,
1, 2, 3.
And go. Hey everyone, this is my store based on the theme of science and skepticism. It's here that you can find all kinds of shirts and hoodies, yoga pants, tote bags, the fanny packs I know you guys love, masks and pillows, all with science and skepticism as the theme. I even have hoodies for your pets. That's right, your dog or cat can wear one of these things. I also have a general store that sells more inspirational quotes or, drinking stuff because I like that kind of thing. I also have a store set up for our 3 Tortured Souls podcast, which we do Saturday nights. You can find shirts and Tim Vickers' favorite drinking vessel, the mug. I also have a store tailored a little bit more towards my ghost hunting friends, Paranormal by I Am Kenny Biddle. These are shirts and quotes that are a little bit more on the ghost hunting side, especially this one, Translucent Parasite Beings. Ghost. That's my favorite. So if you're interested, head on over to teespring.com/stores/scientific skepticism by IAKB and check it out. Thanks.
Are you tortured by what you see and hear about the paranormal field? Join us as we critically examine and question paranormal claims, science, ghosts, demons, cryptids, UFOs, ghost hunting technology, and much more are all on the table for discussion. 3 Tortured Souls is a video podcast that streams live on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 Pacific. 3 Tortured Souls.
All right, made it back. Nice. I hope everyone is enjoying the show so far. It's been an interesting, lively discussion. I'm having a lot of fun. This is great. Even though I love when we're laughing and joking, and I also like that we can discuss this stuff out in the open and have different opinions and still get along and drink together. So. Fucking awesome.
My computer shit itself.
Oh, that's a t-shirt.
No, seriously, that's up there with twat waffle, mate. Seriously, I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
My computer shit itself. All right.
That's me like all the time.
Jeff Cole. Hey, Jeff. What's up, buddy? Hey, Kenny. Hope you're well. Question for the ladies. Do you ladies think there's a relationship between the activity at a location and the historic period? For example, does a 17th century location seem more active than an 18th century location? What kind of patterns, if any, do you see? Wow. That's a really involved question.
That's a great question.
Thanks, Jeff.
That's a great question.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that.
Yeah,
Yes, Jeff, I am well.
Yeah.
Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that question first and foremost. Yes, I do believe that different periods will. Let me read the question again. Yes, they will differently, combine with you, if that makes sense. So if we're in a location, and the location I will first and foremost talk about is a museum that I work with in Millmount. We have gone to Millmount, like I said, for the last 6-7 years. And we have had different EVPs from different times. We've had left a recorder in the building that will literally pick up residual sound. And no one is in the building overnight, literally at all. And you will hear, this would be in the museum that I work in, that I investigate in. That would be Oliver Cromwell from the UK would come over and bomb Drogheda in County Louth in Ireland. So the residual would be bombs going off, cannonballs going off, guns being, retracted and set off, and men running up and down the hallway. And then we would get a different side of it by women fighting in the hallway, by women just living in the building, because it used to be apartments where they used to live. And it used to be a home for families. So the two of them, they're totally separated. That we would get one era and a second era of how this worked. And I hope I'm answering that question right. Because it's like 3 in the morning, I'm like fucking tired. Jeff, I hope I'm answering your question right, because it's like it's 3 in the morning and I'm like very freaking tired. So I hope that's answering your question right. I don't know if
Kelly, do you have anything to add?
Oh, do you know what? All right, I see a lot of paranormal teams that literally will go to a particular location, for example, these 17th century and 18th century locations. And you guys know, like, ours go back to like 1400s here in the UK. And they're so, what's the word for it? They're so convinced that when they get there, they're going to be talking to someone from that time period. And they just get so fixated on it that they don't think that there's anything else that they can do. So I literally, like, it really annoys me, if I'm being honest, because if you're going to go to a location, go there with a completely closed off mind. And a lot of people don't. They go there and they go, this was the birthplace of, I don't know, Jane Smith. And they go in and go, Jane Smith, are you there? And it just winds me up, because honest to God, like, just go into a location. Don't do anything. Don't do any history. Don't do any reading about where you're going, and just go there and enjoy it for what it is.
I've just read Jeff's
go there and pick up.
question again. I've just read his question again, and my answer was totally shite. It was not even.
So do you think there's a bias going on when people go into a location? They know the history already, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for what they looked up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I see that a lot.
Other teams. Yeah, they look at other teams and they look at their evidence, and then they go in there with their evidence. And people just I see it all the time. All the time.
Would you, Kelly? Would you go into a location with public people?
No, because I cannot be bothered to babysit public people.
I don't do public. I do not do public.
No.
Period. Point blank. I never do
No.
public.
I do both.
teams.
I do both,
You.
and I do both because, because I swing that way. No, I'm sorry, it just popped into my head.
Whoa, that's like news.
I have so much thing to do later. No, I like to. This is gonna sound even worse, but I like to watch. I like to observe. I like to observe what people are doing. When you go in with like
He's the
public
king.
ghost hunts,
It's gonna watch you.
Well, if you take the public with you, and they have no idea about the location they're going into, are you okay with the? I don't do public people with me in my group. Oh, look at this. Literally, I just don't do that because reason why I don't do that is because I am very anal when it comes to. Don't even look at me like that, my guy.
I literally cannot take that word seriously.
Going on with the conversation there.
Like really?
It's 3:15 in the morning, mate, and you're saying anal.
I'm such a shithead when it comes to the investigation. Guys, you're making it. You bring it down now. You bring it down. I'm very.
I'm bringing it down.
It's really not.
You're bringing it down the anal. Like, what are you talking about?
It's as bad as Uranus.
See, I hope my friends are watching this because it's not my fault. It's them. It's not me. It's them.
That's awesome.
Bloody hell.
Oh, I've never had anyone fall on the show before. That's great. So honestly though, when it comes to public versus solo, because I Kelly, I'm with you. I do solo investigations because honestly, I don't trust anyone. I really don't trust many people to do the investigations, and I do investigations differently, I think, than your typical ghost hunter group or paranormal investigation group. I don't look at I don't do EVP sessions. I don't do, hey, let's just take random photos. I look at specific claims. I only go if there's something to actually investigate.
Yes.
So in that case, if I'm going someplace solo, then it's all me. But when it comes to public investigations, even ones that are pay to play, where you pay a certain amount of money to attend, I still do it if it's cheap. But my purpose is to sit in the corner and watch everyone else. I want to see what they're doing.
But is public event not like to say, look, this is what really happened here? Like, I know in the location that I go to, will I ever take public with me? And I know something happens in the location. I cannot be arsed. I will not take public with me. I cannot. I'm just that freaking anal that I'm just team research.
If you're going to go on a public event, what you're going to get at the end of the day is entertainment, and that is it.
I'm
There's
not
nothing
doing
paranormal about it
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Well,
It is purely entertainment.
There's a mix of entertainment because it is entertaining. Honestly, I mean, some people are just fucking stupid, you know. But there's other people that are sincere and they are replicating what they see on TV or from other websites or ghost hunting groups, and I usually try to be play dumb. Literally play dumb. Just go up to somebody and say, "Oh, you're using this piece of equipment. What does this do? What is this, and how do you use it?" And I try to. That's how I collect data. That's how I collect what people are doing, how they're using it, how they're interpreting it. I can go up to somebody that holds something like this, which you know what this is,
Rampart, yeah.
and if they place it in a corner, I walk up and say, "All right, can you tell me what this is? What does it do? How do you interpret the results?" And it's fascinating to me to get the response because
do they have a response to what they are using? Do they actually have a response what they're using?
They tell me it's a REM pod and that it detects ghosts.
Oh my goodness!
That's most of the time. Most of the time, that's a direct answer. And then I follow it up again.
Kelly, why are you placing gin in the corner? Leave it there. I'm done.
spirits attract spirits, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. you're
And you
right.
see, when I was doing my live last Saturday night, and we were like, we didn't prepare for it. We weren't prepared for the night, and we were doing a live, and we never do a live as long as we did. And last Saturday night, we never did a live as much as we did. And I said, guys, and someone said to us, and I'm like, my eyes were tired, and I was tired, didn't have enough coffee, and so on and so on. And some guy said to me, you need a team tech with you. And I said, I'm sorry if I slept 3 hours in 24 hours, 3 hours within 24 hours, but the coffee's not working. We're not here. And I said, this is real live. It's like edited or pre-spoken about. This is what you get is what we do, period. And I was like, no, we're never going to do this live again. We're never going to do a live again. And we never normally do a live like that as we did last Saturday night. And I said to myself and my team, we will never do this live again. We only did the live for the experiment we were going to do. But I would never do it again. Nope, I will never do it again. I will never do a live again with that bull crap and that, negativity. I'm not in for the feed. I'm in for, if people want to see what we're doing, I will let you see the location we're going to. I
usually do that. I don't do live. I never go live because for me, it's just a waste of time. Like I'll do a quick video. So this is my process, and it's just behind the scenes. But basically, I'll do a video when I get to a location and say, hey, this is where I am. I'm investigating this tonight. These are the claims that I'm investigating. I can't wait to see what happens. And then I wait until I'm driving home after the investigation to post that because I don't want people showing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
But doing a live,
what it's honestly, like to be famous, eh?
That's it's it. Jesus. That's it. It's just to get people to follow you for fame. There's no reason to do it because it's distracting. It's not. Why would you want to worry about cameras?
Yeah, I do find it like that because when I did a live last Saturday night and we did a live of the experiment that we were going to do, we got nothing from the experiment. And I was like, fuck, I've never gone live doing this before. I've gone live by saying, hey guys, we're back in such and such location. We're going to have a great night. Here's a team. Yada, yada. I will do audio tomorrow. That's it. For some reason or another, I went and continued my live last week. And it was tits up. It was tits up. It was bad.
All right.
I did it wrong.
Let's keep moving on. Let's do a couple more questions. You got a couple more?
Yeah, I have a few.
All right.
Robbie.
Question is, where's the scariest place you have been? Didn't we answer that? I thought they answered it. I thought they did. Okay. Where have you been? It's scary. For me, work. I hate work. It's scary. I hate going there every day. I don't. That's it. So next, Kelly.
School run in my pajamas. That's probably scary. I'm so lazy. I get up in the morning. It's not like America where you have to all drive up and be behind each other in cars. I literally just rock up, go, fuck off, have a nice day, get back in the car, drive home in my pajamas, and then I've got time to get dressed before work.
Nice.
Jenny,
baby. Scariest place.
The scariest place I've ever been was to the checkout before they cut off the wine buying time.
Oh yeah, right.
The time ever.
That probably was
scary before I take it in.
Oh my God.
Jenny, I think that's a lie. I think the scariest place you've ever been is to Tesco's checkout with a cucumber.
Kelly, come on, girl code, Kelly.
I think the scariest.
I did it first.
I want to revise my answer. The beginning of the pandemic in America, when they announced that the liquor stores would be closed in my state, I broke down to a cold sweat, like, holy shit. And I ran out to my car, drove as fast as I could to the liquor store, and I bought everything I could. Because
That's it. Like, we cut off time here is like 10 o'clock at night. So it was like 9:58, and I'm like, I'm fucking sweating. I'm like, get it to the machine. And they go like 10:59, one bottle go through. 10 o'clock, second bottle didn't go through. I'm like, but I had 2 in the fucking conveyor belt. So let it go through. I was here. You see my camera? Check the time. I was here on the camera. It went through. But that was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear, of the scariest place. Sorry, Robbie, we're just
goofing around.
Honest with you.
All right. What else we got? What else we got here?
Right?
Got another question?
I got plenty. Just give me a second.
Okay.
That's
the wife's way of saying, shut the fuck up. I'm getting there.
Yeah. We were far away for a while. Now I have to kind of catch up. I'm looking at the times. I'll be there in a second.
Okay. We try to get to every question if possible. All right. So Barry. Hey, Barry. What's up, buddy? If either of you use video cameras, what type of video cameras will you use for paranormal investigating, and what type of video cameras that you will not use for paranormal? Oh, nice.
Okay. Well, I'll answer what Kelly answers.
You what?
I'll answer. Okay, Kelly, you answer.
Okay.
Okay. What type of video camera do I use? None.
Yeah.
And what type of video cameras that you would not use?
She's like, none.
Pretty much, like, just I don't bother. So there you go, Jenny. Your turn.
Okay, I'll go with this, but I don't know what the camera I use. But I bought a camera like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was like, I have no idea. It's probably in the room beside me. I don't know what I use, but I just use a camera, and I
literally think everybody went out in the beginning and grabbed
camera with it, but I do use a camcorder, and I use an illuminator light with it, and it is good. I don't know what the name. I think it's Panasonic, but I don't know what I use. I'm normally into the more audio than I am visual, but I do use the camera.
So for me, I actually use, when I do go out to a place where I'm going to set up investigations, I do have a full DVR system with 8 cameras that I set up. And it's honestly, my purpose in setting that system up is to watch the people, not so much the ghosts. If they're there. Because so many people, and I don't want to give the impression that I think everyone is hoaxing or faking shit. It's mostly because they make mistakes. People make mistakes. I can't tell you how many times I've watched people walk into cobwebs or bump into something, and it just snags their clothing, and they're like, "Oh my god, I was touched! I was pulled! Holy shit!" No,
literally,
bitch,
you wouldn't think
not.
that if you saw me walking into a spider web. Shit my fucking pants. I fucking hate spiders.
But I have my Nikon. I have several Nikons that I use just to take reference photos. I also have a Ryko or a Theta 360 camera that I walk around with, and I take 360 video of the entire place, which is in 4K.
So what we were talking about earlier tonight, that's the difference between me and you. You do visual, I do audio.
It's all audio too.
I quite
take
like
audio.
Those GoPros.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good idea to have a GoPro strapped to you.
Yeah, I have a great body camera, and I love it. But like myself and Kenny, Kenny does visual, I do audio.
So I do make sure that everything has audio. So my Nikons, when I do video with that, it has audio with it. I do have my oh my god, what's the I forget the brand name. With the 2 microphones that are crisscrossed.
The Zoom.
Yeah, I have one of those. I take around with me. I try to record everything mostly for reference, and that helps me understand the environment better. The 360 camera is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that paired with a body cam, I think every ghost
I
hunting
have a
team
body cam. I have a
standard.
body cam, and it's an amazing body cam. It cost me about €350, and it's like used for police, ambulance, whatever. I've used it on my investigations, and it literally is the creme de la creme. Have I gone through all the audio work just yet? No, I haven't, but I know how I use it. But I want to say to you as well, Kenny, when you said you're using a Zoom as an audio,
Just to record as I'm going. Yes.
okay, so if you got anything on your audio, would you believe in it, even though you say
So
that's
that's a good question. It's a fair question. But the immediate answer is, well, first, I don't have beliefs. Second is that believing what? Because, and I say that because I'm walking around actively looking at places. I call stuff out. I'm constantly talking. I'm constantly generating noise, either vocally or by moving around. So if anything pops up, it is not in any way, shape, or form a controlled environment.
And that's why I do audio, because of the same reason. Why? Is because it's something that's in my environment that is not in my earpiece or my friend's earpiece or in the audio earpiece. That if I can get something from my audio work and I'm hearing genuinely, legitimately something.
But how you have your belief, don't you? Do you know what I mean? You have your belief.
I would never put my name to something that was not legitimate. I'm gonna send on to you the pieces from Left Castle and my friend's response and so on to see what you make from it.
Yeah, I think in this field, I think it's healthy to be skeptical. 100%. I think it's massively healthy to be skeptical. But I think it's very easy to be skeptical as well, because I've gone down that road from being a complete believer to becoming more so of a skeptical believer. But it's easier to be a skeptic because you've got science behind you, and there is so many more explanations. Kind of end up talking yourself out of it, don't you? You know what I mean?
Kelly, can I ask you? Sorry, Kenny.
I totally have. I can argue against that. And not in a way you might be thinking.
Okay.
I don't think it's easy to be skeptical. I think it's very easy to be cynical, because you can easily throw out explanations or excuses. To be skeptical is to have doubt. That's the most basic meaning you can give. To be skeptical is to have doubt about something and you want to question to find the truth. In my case, I'm not going to offer you an explanation. I'm not going to pull one out of my ass. If I know it, I'm going to provide it. But if I don't know it, I'm going to research it and find it. To be skeptical and try to find a logical explanation for something that is mysterious, that is like weird and really interesting, is extremely difficult. I mean, yes, I could sit here and I could slap away your beliefs and just say, oh, well, no, it's probably this, and just toss them away. But that would be very irresponsible of me and very cynical of me. To be skeptical, I think, like, we're discussing things and I would have to really research. I would have to dig into it. Honestly, some of the stuff that Jenny has mentioned tonight with the EVPs and what she's gotten, I'd have to be there with her and tag along in order to understand completely.
Yeah. 100% with you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just got more skeptical as time's gone on. Like as I've kind of like, I don't know, educated myself a bit more on.
And that's what happens.
You know what I mean? So, but there will always be that small belief side to me because I've had personal experiences. So
yes,
I just,
you know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Every time I watch Star Wars, I believe that I have the Force. And I do. And my wife can attest to it. I really do reach out for the remote and go.
Yeah, he's waiting for the remote.
And once in a while, she hands it to me. And I'm like, Fucking yeah. Yeah, did it. See? Did
I'm
it.
not
Proof
stopping
positive.
and be very specific as now, but it's also about when you repetitively have done a location time and time and time and time and time again. If you have the same thing, I know Kelly's still laughing here now. I'm Kelly. I'm gonna.
No, I'm laughing at the comments, mate. It's hilarious.
But
Yeah, I know.
I can't see any comments. I see nothing.
What?
I can genuinely see nothing. But if you do one place time and time, no. I can literally see nothing on my side. I can say nothing on my side.
And no, I've made a cigarette. It is not funny stuff.
Somebody did ask. Somebody asked about that. Are you rolling your own cigarettes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody did ask. Yeah.
Because as you say to me, Jen, hold on a second, and you can see it rolling. I'm like, okay. If you do it consecutively, location time and time and time again, and you can say, right, I'm going to do the EVP thing again. That you would have. I can't even talk because she's.
So if you go into a place time again, and you get EVPs every time you go.
Yes.
So what if this is just hypothetical situation here? What if you're doing something, if you're missing a step, if you don't have a proper control in place and you're making that mistake over and over and over again?
We learn how to redo it again. We learn how to do it from the EVPs. We learn how to redo our how are you learning then? Because if you're doing it good question.
the same way, like what's there to motivate you to think, am I doing this right?
No, because sometimes we would get EVPs by saying we would get the best EVPs by saying we had a great night, and then we do a different night, different night in the same location, and we do it a different way, and we got less activity. Then we would learn ourselves to say, okay, this did not work, like we did last Saturday night. So now we have learned from last Saturday night to say, like, let's not do it this time around. So we're going to do it differently in the 29th of October to say, right, let's do it the way we used to do it before. And we got more activity from the location.
So do you have the methodology? Do you have this written down? Do you have this entirely documented so that you can compare the differences between the two and see what
the only thing that I have is from audio, but can I mentally write it down? Yes, I can. I can mentally write it down. I've never written the night of location. Okay. I'm gonna say you might not agree with this, but unfortunately, I think if you don't write it down at the time, then it's not as valid, because if you're trying to remember, you're going to make mistakes. Okay. Yeah, so the reason I asked that is because if you want to progress, in order to progress, you have to be able to compare every experience. And if you don't have it written down in good notes, detailed notes of the exact methodology that you're using, you don't know what differences are made. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And that's a learning curve that we have to do. And I literally said to my team last week, I said, I am going to literally do up a write-up from last night's investigation. Did I get to it? And did I do it? No, I didn't do it because I had other stuff to do. And it was literally my purpose. And I said, I never normally do this, but I'm going to do it now tonight. I never got around to doing it. To literally write, I know, Kenny, I know I should get down to do it. And it's my learning curve. And that's why I say we're on this like so many years, but it's a learning curve to learn what we're doing in our field. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, I hear you. I do this every time I go somewhere. I am constantly writing notes as I go. I detail notes. And one of the things, like my procedure is I write notes. And when I get to the end of the page, when it's completely filled, I sign and date the bottom of the page. That's telling me, okay, I'm done with this page. I'm not adding any more to this page. I'm going to the next page. But you constantly write notes that you can reference later, because it's really important.
In the same location, you can reference to your last notes, if that makes sense.
What?
Yeah. So if you end that last date notification, then you can go back to the same location and reference it back to your last location.
Right.
And I swear to my life, I literally said to my friend who works in the museum, saying, right, I'm going to do up a write-up about what happened last night. I didn't do it because I was bombarded with different stuff and so on. Now it's my new thing to literally start, middle, end of night and have pen and paper. So
it's like something like this notebook is essential. That's number one tool.
I have it here, this and this. And like I said, like what I'm doing it 15 years, but I'm still learning. I know what I'm doing with the audio, but when it comes to the research way, I'm still doing it by audio, but I have to do it more writing down. So like I said, people are saying like, oh, you know this and you know that in paranormal world. We are learning every single day. No matter how long you're doing it, you are learning every single day in your field. You learn every day. And I see many people fighting over this, and it's just ridiculous. So I will take it. I will take your literally. That's
good. That's the only reason that I offer this advice or offer my opinion is to learn, to progress. Because I mean, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and you don't get criticism, you don't consider other people's criticism and try to progress. You're going nowhere. You are stale. You're stale, stagnant, and you're not going anywhere. So
that's like if you own an SLS camera. Sorry.
Oh, fuck that piece of shit.
Don't do that.
Oh my god. We're going to talk about that now. Do you use that?
I know. I swear by the SLS camera.
Oh my god, we're talking about that now.
Jenny!
I'm joking.
Jenny!
I'm joking. I don't.
Jenny! Not a ghost hunting tool.
I think it's a crock of shit. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I think
it is a crock of shit.
Jesus
Christ. Oh my fuck, Kenny! I think it's a crock of shit. I think it's. It is.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Bullshit.
Okay.
Sorry, people who understand.
Are you just saying that to shut me up?
No,
she means it.
I'm very scientifically wise. I just think it's a crock of shit. You're wasting my time. I'm going for a cigarette while you're fucking looking for stick figures.
On a chair.
All right. You got any questions for us, Donna?
Donna, please give us a question. Please give me a question, Donna.
I got one right here. Here you go.
All right. You mentioned you debunk things. Can you provide an example of something you debunked and learned from as a result?
Shit.
Also, what is the standard of evidence that you use? Thanks in advance. Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness.
All right. So, I mean, I do my EVPs. So if I've done an EVP session, I will generally take it home and then I'll download it onto the laptop and have a listen just to see what I can hear. Because generally, what you tend to find is what you're listening to on your EVP recorder actually differs from what you hear when you've downloaded it onto the laptop. So there was one day I'd recorded this EVP and I wasn't doing a solo at the time. There was someone with me, and it was a 20-minute recording, which I generally don't do, but I must have just got sidetracked by boredom. So I'd listened to it, and honest to God, right, when I listened to the EVP playback live, I heard this voice and it went, "You got them big titties." And I was like, fuck me, have you heard this, right? I was going, listen, right? And it was going, "You got them big titties." Mate, I was running around the venue going, "Listen to this, fucking class A, got them big titties." Right? So I took it home, I downloaded it, all freaking excited and everything, yeah. And literally it was one of my colleagues that I was with.
Oh my God, we were thinking like
they literally coughed. It was literally just a cough, and it made
oh my
sound.
God, yes, exactly.
I got them big titties. So you really do need to download it, because honest to God, it did not sound like a cough until I downloaded it, and then it was.
A friend of mine, Alan from the Milman Museum, he was like
excited about a cough.
It was a cough.
It was COVID,
Is
wasn't
it
it?
both?
I mean, it was just playing with me. Fuck's sake. Honest, I was not happy.
Hey,
That's
shut up, John. I'm keeping up with
Yeah.
the questions.
Okay, I think
She is.
my debunking of literally debunking of an EVP was the guy that he's in Willamette Museum, and he farted, and I was like, it was demonic. It
was
literally
demonic.
I'm like, what the fuck? But he was like, and his stomach gurgled, and he goes, "Ugh." And he just let one out. He goes,
Standard evidence.
And this was demonic. And I just say after that, did you follow through? Oh, he didn't. But it was just kind of like, and you're like, he goes, and it just came literally. Literally, and oh, fuck my days, I'm sorry, but oh God, Jesus Christ. We just left like that, and we prayed to Lord Mary, Jesus Christ, what, and then man, I'm sorry. And Gary just goes, I had a card out of my fuck, Jesus, it was deadly.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's hilarious.
I forget what's still alive. I'm sorry.
I bet everybody in that comment box is like, can we just have something fucking decent? Can we just talk about it? We're English. We don't do decent. It is
I'm
nearly
Irish.
quarter to fucking
I'm
4.
Irish.
Fuck off. Ain't doing decent.
All right. Next question. What was one location where you were completely disappointed? Maybe it was just it just didn't meet your expectations, or nothing seemed to go right. Did you ever revisit that location for a second try?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you always go to a location.
Yeah,
you always go to a location with like that expectation that something's going to happen. Don't you?
Castles fucking everywhere around me. I've got castles around me.
Fairies and fucking unicorns over there.
I'll never go on. Potatoes. Whatever.
They're leprechauns.
They run around like this. Pot of gold.
Listen, you don't want to come to Ireland. It's okay.
I just want to say I warned everyone this was going to be a show that was so fucked up and so out there.
Hashtag fact.
Farts equal facts.
Yeah, I'm looking here.
All right.
There's a location literally about 5 minutes away from me. A fabulous freaking home, beautiful home. I went out and investigated. We had to walk to 2 or 3 fields. Couldn't, we got into it eventually. 2 or 3 fields, and it's a beautiful home. It's a blind home. We never. And you see how the researchers are from the hunters. We have the researchers and the hunters.
Yep.
You see, we have the researchers and the hunters. You say, wake the frick up. You got me into this. So wake the frick up.
Yeah.
Wake the frick up. So we went to this beautiful building in the most historical town of Drogheda, where I live. And
Wait, I'm going to mute everyone except for you.
Yeah, mute them. So we went to this place, and it was the most historical place in Drogheda. On the Boyne River. We went to it one or 2 times, and we got nothing from it. Nothing. I thought we would get more from it, but we got nothing from it. So that was very much disappointed, because it was on the Boyne River of Drogheda, and I thought. And
you were expecting to get something.
Yeah,
right?
for sure,
okay.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, beautiful home. Like, it's a round building on the river of the Boyne. Yeah, I thought I would get more from it. I got nothing from it. Nothing.
Okay. All right, Kelly, I have unmuted your mic. You can now talk again.
It's the chat room. They're winding me up.
Chat room, they're so awesome. I love the chat room. I have the best audience.
Maybe I'm on the wrong side. I see nothing.
You are definitely.
So you might have.
Oh no! Now I see it. Now I see it.
Okay.
Okay.
I bet you were in private chat, weren't you?
No, yes, I was.
Okay.
There's
that's
nothing
right.
going on there.
There's nothing going on. What are you talking about? No one's watching the fucking show. How can you be laughing?
I'm in the room. Oh my god.
She's in the room by herself. No one else is chatting with her.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
All right. So next question from John. What else do you two believe in? Do you believe in cryptids, demons, gods, Satan, aliens, etc.? Kelly.
Go.
No.
No.
It's about being honest. No, cryptids.
Okay, be honest.
No.
Okay, so you believe in nothing of them. Cryptids, demons,
No.
gods, Satan, aliens, nothing.
No.
Okay.
No.
I have a different
No.
answer.
Okay, you crack on.
So I'll go quick because I think I'm just as quick as Kelly here. No, except for aliens. Not that they visited us, but I do think there's life out there somewhere. That's about it. But
I
gods,
agree with you.
no. Demons, no. Cryptids is like a sliding scale because you have like Bigfoot, no. But then you can have things that have been cryptids in the past. Don't ask me right now because I'm way too drunk to come up with an example. But you have things in the past that were thought to be cryptids or mythological creatures and then have been discovered. So cryptids with like a sliding scale. So go ahead, Jenny.
I don't believe in cryptids. I just, it doesn't flow my boat. Demons, no. Unless it's human form, because most people are fucking assholes. Gods, no, I don't believe in gods. Satan, the same with religion, gods, no. Aliens, I would say yes.
Yes, as in
But I want to retract what I'm saying about gods. Am I Christian? My children are baptized, but I don't believe in this. I don't believe in the church. I don't believe in that. But I do believe in when God was.
Yeah, but you do know that a baptism or a christening is a minor exorcism. You know that, right?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
In the church's eyes, it's a minor exorcism because
no, I don't like that shit.
denouncing Satan.
No, but then that can go fuck itself because I fucking hate priests anyway.
I can tell you, it didn't work with me.
Renounce Satan.
I'm still bad.
Yeah,
Still bad. Awesome.
That's
Good.
because he couldn't answer for himself.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, does that answer your question? So let's get into John's question about do you believe in these different religions? Most of us said aliens. Myself and Kenny said aliens. Why is that? Why do we believe in aliens?
I don't believe in aliens. I just have this idea that the universe is so vast. And when we start talking about and this is something that's come up on the show before, when we start talking about distances in the universe and we're talking light years, it's an incredible distance. We really can't understand the concept of how far something is.
Yeah.
And the idea of life on other planets. Yeah. It's just, I mean, life formed here. Look at how much life is here. There is so many thousands, hundreds of thousands of species of life just on one rock floating in space.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
But I'm going to.
Go ahead. I don't have control of the show anymore.
Yeah, so why is it that the healthy debate that
Okay.
I can say to you about EVPs, but you can say about the life after, Earth. How is it that we have felt and seen paranormal, but we haven't felt and seen UFOs? But we have, but it was never been allowed to be on Earth that we could, if you know what I'm saying.
Wait, what?
Okay, so
You got me confused.
I know. Okay, so let me break it down. So in the paranormal field, right, we have visualized, we have heard it, and X, Y, Z. And when it comes to the UFO field, that is more of a it didn't happen, it's not real, and it's more of a it didn't happen field, if that makes sense. Why is it more negative towards the UFO field than it was to the paranormal field?
Negative towards what specifically?
That is now the times that's coming forward to us that we can say, yes, paranormal is like getting more realistic than UFO is getting more realistic, if that makes sense.
So I'm not sure where you're going, but I'm going to start giving my opinion, and you jump in.
Yeah, how is it like, paranormal is like we can see it, we can feel it, we heard it, and X, Y, Z. But the UFO is in the sky, and we've never seen it. We've never felt it in X, Y, Z. So how come this is more realistic than the paranormal field that we have seen, felt, and heard?
So, okay, so we have paranormal, which is a very general term. This is not a specific term. It doesn't specify one thing. Paranormal covers it's a blanket term. So you have a lot of stuff that's based on belief, anecdotal evidence, what have you.
Okay.
The concept of life out in the universe is a different concept, and it's based on what happened here. So we have life that developed on Earth. We have life that evolved. It evolved on Earth. This is not a foreign concept that could possibly happen on other planets that are in the Goldilocks zone, the good distance between their sun and in that zone where life is predictable and potential, because it has the right atmosphere, it has the right components, it has the right chemicals. Life can develop.
Okay.
This is something that's based on what we know happened here. When you talk about the paranormal, which is again a blanket term, it's first we have to look at what belief are you talking about. If we're talking about life after death, it's still something that's unproven. We don't have any. We have concepts, we have beliefs, but we have no concrete evidence of anything happening like that. When we compare it to thinking of if life is out there, what are we basing that off of? We have evidence of life here. Life developed and evolved here. So therefore, we have evidence of that actually happening. We don't have evidence of life after death.
Well, can I differ with that?
Of course.
I would say there's more evidence of life after death than there is of the UFOs.
Oh, we're going to get into it now.
Oh, we can get into it.
I would challenge you to present your best evidence for life after death.
I am so down for it. I find in my field, if I can say field.
I mean, you can say field. Doesn't mean it is, but you can say field.
We don't have to say field. We don't have to say field. I just say my hobby and my interest. That I would say I have had more
personal experiences.
No, not personal experiences. That plus I can give you evidence of what has happened, EVP wise, and I don't do visual and I don't do anything like that, but I will do EVP.
So if we look at your EVPs and they're not captured under controlled conditions.
Yes.
Under scientifically controlled conditions.
I will put my hands down and I'll say, you got me and I'm good with it. I would be that person that say, you got me and I'm good with it.
Okay.
I
Fair enough.
will literally, I'll put my fucking foot down and say, you got me, I'm good with it. That in my field, I'm going to say fucking field again. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep
That's all right.
Wait,
You
she just
can.
said that 5 times in a row.
I know.
I'm not going to argue with that anymore.
But just don't. But I just find that I've had more craziness of evidence from that, being the person that I am and what I do in my team. And that I want to have your evidence from what your experience is within your ground.
So, again, it comes down to we're racing these ideas, and I'm going to use ideas because I don't have beliefs, but basing the idea of life in the universe off of what happened here. We have a record of what happened here. We have evolution. We have the science of what happened here, how life developed. So
do you have do you have documentation that you can put it down to say that we have it?
It's called biology. It's a structure of science.
I get it. I get that. I got it.
So that's pretty much where I'm going to stop, because I can present that biology and evolution as evidence of what happened here.
A million of reasons.
I can actually say you being there on screen is evidence of life on this planet.
Of course I am. Yeah.
So that just by default, what has created you? What had to happen to create you and me and Kelly and Donna? That's evolution. Oh my God.
What can I say?
Thank you for the visual. I appreciate the diagram, Kelly. So based on that, I mean, just based on what we know about life on the planet Earth, we can say, okay, we can apply this to other planets if they have the same chemical makeup, if they same atmosphere. We can hypothesize that there is life out there in the universe. When it comes to life after death, and
how is that
basing it off of EVP, you're basing it off of something that is from what you're presenting is purely subjective. You're presenting your interpretation of what recordings from uncontrolled environments are producing. It's not something that's objective evidence. It is your opinion of what's being.
Okay, but what happens if I ask a question in a familiar location and they give me an intelligent answer?
This is going deeper into a question. This is not comparing. This is no longer comparing the prospect of life in the universe with life after death. You have a question about what happens if I continue at a location and I get certain responses. We have to look at each response separately. We cannot look at them collectively. We have to look at them separately and determine whether they're valid or not before we can group them together.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
we have to.
We've already established. Okay, go ahead. You go.
No, so I'm just saying, like, we have to collect what your beliefs in and my beliefs in, and see if we, like you said, collect them together to see if
my ideas are based on science. My ideas are based on evolution and biology.
Me too.
Biology.
But it's a different way of science that we do different science.
I don't agree with that, because I think mine is based on biology and evolution, while yours are based on subjective validation.
As into why. And why?
I think your comments section would disagree, because they are literally going mad for the human centipede.
Oh, okay. What's going on? Jeez,
oh my God! All right, so let me get to this question. What time is it? Oh my God, we're at 2 hours. Oh, I think John already brought up we're gonna go 3 hours here. I don't want to keep you guys. I don't want to keep you two as long as longer than possible, because I know it's late.
Life of a dad, what carries on the mind emerges of a physical brain.
So John Kennedy says, Jenny, if there's life after death, what carries on? The mind is emergent of our physical brain. The mind is emergent.
Of our emergent brain. It's
So
it's the same thing as we always say. It's like we say, are we body and mind? Are we physically? Are we spiritual? Are we souls or whatever? I do believe and I know it's just like, fuck's sake.
was that your dog?
Yeah, he's snoring.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That's the first time I heard
Just
that.
heard him?
Holy shit! I thought you farted.
He's been snoring.
No! My dog snores.
Holy
snores.
shit!
It's 2 hours. She's
All right, we do have to wrap up. We do have to
Okay.
wrap up. We're at 2 hours. I know you guys. It's what, like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Four.
Four in the morning.
Okay.
4 in the morning.
All right, let's wrap up. And I want to have both of you on again. Is that
I bet you
okay?
do.
Are you sure?
I bet you've had so many inbox messages. Finally get them back on. Amazing.
Get them back.
Get them.
Can't think
fucking
of
back
any
on.
other Friday night to waste my fucking time. Thanks.
You did not waste your fucking time. You enjoyed yourself.
She's
Damn
fucking
it.
plugged me into this and she's making me fucking answer every fucking question. And she's like, and I'm like, I say fucking fuck every 2 seconds. She's like,
Mate,
Oh my
mate,
god.
you
Kelly,
went right
Kelly.
into it. I just said no.
Kelly, whatever.
You did. You did.
She did.
All right.
She did.
So-
She did.
Hang out for a minute.
Okay.
Can we get that question off? Oh, here it is. Hold
Oh,
on.
you're so crazy, Kelly.
I got it.
You're so crazy.
Okay. All right. I'm going to switch to our announcements. Oh, no. No. That's right.
No.
That's right.
No.
That was
All
10
right.
minutes ago. That was funny. Before you
So I am going to just go to the quick announcements, which I think I didn't update. So
What?
they're going to be pretty quick. And then we're going to get out of here. So Bob's announcements, because Bob is a loyal viewer. Bob's announcements, let's see, go down to, October 9th, which is tomorrow.
No, it's not.
No.
No, it's not.
Tomorrow is what? What do you have?
Tomorrow's the
Uh,
2nd of October. The 2nd of
I have a
October.
craft show tomorrow.
So Donna
October
has
2nd.
October 2nd.
Today.
Lucky Tiki Creations has a
Show.
craft show at, you know?
It's in Pennypack Park off of Marie Avenue in Philadelphia.
So it's right in Philadelphia. If you're in the area, come by, come on out,
come on
and
down.
I'll be there. I'm going to help her set up, and I'll probably hang around until I get bored and then I leave, and then I'll come back and help her,
That's what
break
he
it
does.
down. The next thing we got is September 25th is that we already did the Para Unity. Never mind. So October 9th. October 9th is the Selma Mansion Psychic Fair. That's in Norristown, Pennsylvania. It's a psychic fair. Donna will be setting up her Lucky Tiki Creations booth. I will not set up a booth, but I'll be walking around and sitting with some of the psychics that let me and seeing how much I can annoy them.
They won't let you. They won't let you.
By saying no.
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 They won't let
I
you.
dare you, Kenny. Kenny would fail that test miserably if that's the only word he could say all day.
Yeah, I would. Starting October 11th,
That would be
I will
funny.
be I will be actually co-teaching a class, a course called Skepticism, a Skeptical Approach to Parapsychology with Lloyd Arabak. It's from the Ryan Institute. I'm going to be helping teach a course and talking about critical thinking and investigating mysteries. I'm going to be giving the skeptical part of the course. Aside from that, I don't think I have anything else planned.
Skeptoid?
Oh shit! This Sunday,
Kidding. Boom.
this Sunday, the 3rd, October 3rd, is Skeptoid's. Thank you, Jade Kitten. Skeptoid's, I think, 13th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be doing a live 3-hour broadcast, and I'm going to be part of it. I'm going to be talking about research, the importance of research, the importance of proper research versus bullshit research. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I really don't. I'm going to wing it. So, but tune in for that. I'm going to have a link up. And then aside from that, I think that's it. If you're interested, I do have a Patreon page, which is right here. If you're interested, you can get behind the scenes photos. I do post photos and videos of all the projects that I'm doing well before I actually publicly post them. So you get behind the scenes shit. It's really cool. And that's about it. So, ladies, Kelly, you first. Where can people find you if they want more information?
No.
You bitch. Come on. Fucking tell me.
Oh, okay. Look, if you're really desperate, you can find me on Facebook under Kelly Ellis. Or come find me at Deadends.
Yes.
Literally, it's up to you. Don't bother if you don't want it. It's all right.
No, dude, go, because I've listened and participated many times on Deadends Paranormal. It's a great show. It's fun. You guys let me come on and say whatever I want. So I definitely love it, and it's fun. You and CJ are awesome. And if CJ is watching, or if he catches us on the replay, I'm sorry we missed you. I really wanted you to come out, but I understand you're not feeling well. So, hope you get better and get your ass back on here.
Yeah, he's just a great guy.
Yes. Jenny, where can we find you?
Same as Kelly, nowhere.
You can't use that answer.
You can't do that.
Okay, I'm joking.
It should be like a 10-minute response, please.
Yeah.
Back off, Donna.
Damn, Donna's piping up from the peanut gallery. Shit.
Okay, you can find me at Emerald. I can't even say it now. Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers on Facebook. That's it.
There you go. That's it. Okay.
Emerald Isle Paranormal Researchers in Ireland. That's it. Donna, fuck you.
I love you.
I couldn't say it properly.
I was like, I think this was like one of the better shows because I didn't have to hear Kenny all night. It was actually somebody else talking.
What the fuck?
In a nice way.
How is that a nice way? You didn't have to hear your husband talk.
Well, no. Okay, so I take that back. You could take it the wrong way, but every time I hear you talk, I know what you're going to say. So it's like when you hear it over and over and over and over again, it's nice just to hear somebody else.
She just sits over in the corner and she's like, shut the fuck up.
Sometimes I am. I'm like, I just roll my eyes.
Wait, Donna.
Let's go. Come on, move it on.
Oh my goodness. All right.
No, it was
Ladies.
A great show tonight. It was a great show.
Kelly and Jenny, thank you so much for staying up late. I appreciate. I know it's really late. I know you're tired. Thank you so much for participating. I appreciate it, and your insight and your conversation and your debate and your opinions, everything. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us on the show tonight. Thank you for having me on the show tonight and listen to my debate because I'm a debating little fecker. But thank you.
It was awesome. I love it. I love it.
It was a great show.
I don't shy away from debate.
I'm sending you my audio.
Good.
I
want to connect later. I want to keep going with this experiment. I want to do this because I think this would be beneficial. I think this would be really interesting. So, all right. So hang on the line. Don't go anywhere. Don't click out yet. I'm going to play my outro video, and everyone else, thank you for hanging out. Have a safe weekend.
Yeah.
And be good to each other. And remember, never stop learning. That's it. So I'll see you next week. Oh, next week we have Celestia Ward, which is a co-host of Scoring the Strange podcast. So that should be interesting too. So, all right, here we go. Ending video now.